In the spring of 1967, a man named Robert Stigwood made the mistake of trying to poach an act from Don Arden. Stigwood was a powerful music manager. He had connections, he had money, and he had heard that the Small Faces, one of the most successful British bands of the moment, might be unhappy with their current representation. He arranged a meeting. Don Arden found out about it. What happened next, Arden told himself in multiple interviews in his own autobiography. He went to Stigwood's office with some associates. The meeting was brief and direct. Stigwood received the message that the Small Faces were not available to be poached. The exact nature of the physical communication has been described in various ways over the years, up to and including the claim that Stigwood was held out of a window by his ankles. Don Arden told versions of this story with what can only be described as pride. Whether it was ankles or simply a very emphatic conversation does not particularly change what Don Arden was. He was the most feared manager in British rock history, and this is his story. Subscribe and hit the bell. I tell stories like this every week. Harry Levy was born in Manchester in 1926, the son of a Jewish family, and reinvented himself as Don Arden while working the variety circuit as a comedian and singer in the 1940s and 50s. He had a gift for spectacle and a harder gift for control, and when rock and roll arrived and changed everything, he moved directly into management. By the mid-1960s, he was handling some of the most commercially successful acts in Britain. The Small Faces, Steve Marriott, Ronnie Lane, Kenny Jones, Jimmy Winston, and later Ian McLagan were a phenomenon. Mod favorites, chart regulars, packed venues, and by all subsequent accounts, they saw almost none of the money. Steve Marriott spent years of his life afterward describing how Arden's management structure had worked. Advances treated as debts, royalties routed through subsidiary companies, contracts that gave the band no leverage. They were famous and they were broke. This was not an accident. It was the system. Arden operated through a combination of legal control and personal intimidation. Artists on his roster found it very difficult to leave. Those who tried found that other managers and promoters were mysteriously unavailable to them. People who might have helped found reasons not to. The word that musicians used in private was that Don Arden ran his business the way certain other industries ran theirs, through fear. By the late 1960s and into the 1970s, he had expanded his roster significantly. The Move, Amen Corner, and then through his label Jet Records, ELO, the Electric Light Orchestra. Jeff Lynne's band became one of the most commercially successful acts of the 1970s. The legal battles over what ELO was owed and what they actually received went on for years. And there was a daughter. Sharon Arden had grown up inside her father's world. She had watched him operate since she was a child, had worked for him as a teenager, had learned every move he made. She understood the contracts, the leverage, the phone calls, the way that fear moved through the music industry like a current. She had been shaped by him completely. In 1979, Black Sabbath fired their singer. Ozzy Osbourne had been the voice of Black Sabbath since the beginning. The haunted howl over Tony Iommi's riffs, the stage presence that made the band what it was. By 1979, he had become, by the band's account, impossible to work with. The drinking, the unreliability, the chaos. They let him go. Sharon Arden was there when it happened. She knew Ozzy, and she saw what nobody else saw, that the person who looked unmanageable was actually a singular talent who had been badly managed, and that the right person could channel what he was into something the world had never seen. She took him on. Don Arden had a problem with this. Black Sabbath had been connected to his management world through a previous deal, and he felt that Ozzy was in some sense his artist to handle, not his daughter's. What followed was a family business dispute that turned into something much worse. Sharon has described her father's reaction in interviews across decades, the threats, the attempts to interfere with her management of Ozzy, the depth of the conflict. She has said he once sent people to her office. She has described him cutting off the family, cutting her out of his will, making it clear that she had crossed a line that could not be uncrossed. She crossed it anyway. In 1982, she married Ozzy Osbourne. Don Arden did not attend the wedding. What Sharon built with Ozzy over the next 20 years became one of the most durable brands in rock history. She created Ozzfest. She shepherded Ozzy's solo career through decades of highs and collapses, protecting him and controlling him and fighting for him simultaneously. When Ozzy appeared on the Osbournes in 2002 and became a global television phenomenon, it was the culmination of a career that Sharon had constructed from scratch. Don Arden's empire, meanwhile, had contracted. Legal difficulties in the UK in the 1990s. Jet Records gone. The artists gone. He moved to Los Angeles, where Ozzy and Sharon lived. In his final years, Don Arden developed dementia. The man who had run his world through fear and control slowly lost his ability to understand the world around him at all. His daughter Sharon, the one he had cut off, the one he had threatened, the one who had taken the artist he wanted, she helped care for him. He died in Los Angeles in July 2007 at 81 years old. The Small Faces never fully recovered the money they were owed. Steve Marriott died in 1991 in a house fire. Ronnie Lane developed multiple sclerosis and spent his final years in poverty. The songs they made, songs that sold hundreds of thousands of copies, had made someone rich. It was not them. Don Arden understood the music business at its most fundamental level. The music is made by one set of people. The money goes to another. What separates the two groups is a contract and the will to enforce it. His daughter learned from the best. Then she beat him. There's a video on your screen right now. Click it.